I see how honest you are. And not just in your writing. You're honest with yourself and with others.
I don't know any other way to be.
Before we dive into the second half of this scene, I wanted to point out a couple of things. Helen mentioned that Elizabeth is an honest woman, not only as a person, but as an author, and it seemed that they're getting along with one another. And the second point I want to make is that Lucas and Elizabeth, they have that common interest over books, right? Like, hey, you know that book, you know that quote from that certain book. But Helen and Elizabeth have this new special relationship. I don't know if this will make sense to you, but Helen and Elizabeth bond over books, but in a way that they bond over like the technical part of writing a book. So Helen understands how to write a really good book, or how to develop a character really well in a book. And Helen can see how Elizabeth is as a writer. She writes really good, and the characters that Elizabeth put in this book shows who she is as a person and how she feels and emotion and the words. And Helen and Elizabeth just have that special connection over books in a way that they can understand each other as they go through this book and pointing out dialogue and lines and the characters and the way the storyline goes. So it's really nice to see that bond between these two women.
Most people, they're uncomfortable or afraid. And as a result, they wind up hiding behind a character that they've created for themselves. I'm like that, Elizabeth. I've come here to see Lucas and to see you, of course, but if I'm being completely honest, I've come because my husband, he left me.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Helen not only came to Hope Valley just to see Lucas and Elizabeth, but she just dropped a bombshell on Elizabeth. She did not expect to hear that from Helen, and I think that's very unnormal for your editor to release some private information going on in her personal life. It showed that Helen is very comfortable with Elizabeth, and she felt comfortable enough to tell Elizabeth what's really going on. And Helen knows that Lucas is trying to get some answers to Elizabeth, and she knows that Lucas knows there's something up, and Helen doesn't want to tell Lucas, so she told Elizabeth. And part of it is like she's trying to release her emotion and her secret, but it's to Elizabeth, not Lucas, and that would have some trouble down the road. Lucas should know, and he is her son, and yeah, it's shocking that Helen told Elizabeth, and Elizabeth not even a girlfriend to Lucas yet, and it just shows that Helen trusts her enough, but it's very unexpected and very surprising, and it's super private stuff that she just told Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, from the look of it, she is not ready for that unexpected news, and I don't think she will be comfortable to hide it from Lucas either.
Afternoon.
Lucas doesn't know. I trust you'll maintain my confidence.
Should I assume that you are done editing?
Yes, we are, for the day. And the word is finished, not done. Shall I send you a copy of Sanderson's Manual of Good English?
The travails of being raised by a lover of language.
Who instilled in you a passion for literature.
True.
Helen told Elizabeth to keep it to herself. Helen should be honest with her son, and if Lucas finds out that Elizabeth knew before him, that would crush his heart, because he expected and trusted Elizabeth to tell him, if anything, anything that is important that he should know, and he should know about this. And this is a tough, sticky situation for Elizabeth. I mean, she's not even part of the family yet. Like, this is crazy. And I'm just like, Lucas, Helen, like, you don't want to betray Helen trusts, right? Not only she's Lucas' mom, but she's Elizabeth's editor, right? But Lucas, like, he became a great friend to Elizabeth, and if anything happened, like, her friendship with Lucas could be destroyed. The trust can be broken. Yeah, this is not good.
You're a good influence as well. My mother typically works late.
Perhaps we could all get dinner.
I'm afraid I won't be able.
Oh, well, another night.
Well, I would enjoy that.
Yes. I hope you both have a nice evening.
Why didn't Elizabeth go to dinner with Lucas and his mom? If Helen did not tell her that secret, I think Elizabeth would immediately say yes. So yeah, let me know why you think she didn't go. But she was in a position of being so uncomfortable after what happened, and she needed time to process what happened and time to figure out what to do, if she should tell Lucas or not. You can really see that Lucas really want Elizabeth to make it to dinner with them, but Elizabeth, I truly believe that 100% the reason why Elizabeth did not go is because of what just happened. And it's really tough. Like, Helen is counting on Elizabeth not to tell Lucas, and at the same time she knows that she should tell Lucas because he's the son and he deserves to know. Like, Elizabeth should not know this. Like, Lucas should know this.
Lucas, may I ask for your help with something?
Okay, this part, if you remember, Elizabeth set up a little romantic date setting for Rosemary and Lee at their house, and she thought of Lucas because she knows that Lucas knows how to be romantic, and he got all the handles and all the romantic goodies. So I thought there was a cute scene between Elizabeth and Lucas because of the date that they had in Union City and the date at the library. Like, Elizabeth knows that Lucas knows how to set up a romantic evening.
Helen confided in me that Lucas's father left her.
Oh, dear.
And she's asked that I not say anything to Lucas.
Oh, goodness, that's a terrible position to put you in.
I agree.
Oh boy. It is a terrible position to be in, and you don't expect that from your friend mother and your editor putting you in a position like that. That's very rare, and again, it's a tough, sticky situation, and Elizabeth is still trying to figure out how to hold this secret to herself and whether or not she should tell Lucas or not, or maybe convince Helen to tell him right away. Yeah, this is not good.
Oh my goodness.
In the beginning, she said, oh my goodness, like, she was nervous, she was afraid to tell him the truth because she knows that it can hurt him, hurt his feelings.
Allie and I.
It sounds remarkable.
Yeah.
Nathan, I don't know where to begin.
Well, here, let me...
No, please.
Nathan tried to get the first hand in explaining the feeling, but Elizabeth stopped him just enough, just in time to take the conversation over and tell him, like, hey, no, I can't do this. I can't give you the same thing that you think I will give you. Like, you like me, but I don't like you like that. I can't offer the same things that you want in this relationship, in this friendship.
I need to tell you something that I've known for a while, but I haven't been able to say. You mean a lot to me. You and Allie both. But I've sensed that you're hoping for something more than friendship.
The timing of it, like she waited so long, like she said she had known for a while, but she just couldn't get the words out to Nathan.
I wasn't trying to hide it.
And I appreciate your honesty.
Nathan was honest and confident when he started to ask her many times to go on a date. It took him a while to build up that confidence and be open with her and show her that he likes her. I think season 7, it was the prime season for Nathan to just show to Elizabeth that he was very interested in her romantically.
But Nathan, when you were almost shot,
Elizabeth, just listen to me for a second.
you
please,
want
all
more
right?
than I can give you. It would just hurt too much if I lost you the way I lost Jack.
I wouldn't let that happen.
You can't say that to me.
She admitted that what she went through with Jack is what she felt when Nathan was almost got shot. And the big reason why she denied Nathan, rejected Nathan as a romantic interest is because of Jack and what she went through. She doesn't want to go through that same cycle of being a Mountie wife and going through that fears and the roller coaster ride of being a Mountie wife and not knowing if your husband will come back alive, safe and sound. So Elizabeth no, you need to let me go. And Nathan is trying to keep her close to him, trying to have that opportunity to prove himself, but Elizabeth doesn't feel the same way, and Nathan gotta let Elizabeth go.
You have no right to promise me that.
I would quit. I'd quit the Mounties.
No!
Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
I can't stay or it'll only make it harder for me to leave.
Well, then don't go.
Another part of him forcing it is telling him that he would quit the Mountie. I quit the Mounties. You're not just do that. It's just the words coming out from his mouth. It's just all over the place, and he's just trying to hold on to Elizabeth. And unfortunately, the universe in Hope Valley, telling him that he should let her go and let her be. Like I said before, Elizabeth would not force a man to give up his occupation, and she not doing that to Nathan, and I think that's a very fair thing for her to do and to decide, don't quit your job because of me. I can't do that to you, Nathan.
Elizabeth, look, I know you feel the same way that I do.
I can't.
And she basically friend-zoned him in this scene, but Nathan kept forcing it, pushing it on her, saying he doesn't believe her, and that he's you gotta give me a chance, you cannot cut me off like this.
Elizabeth, I'm in love with you. Elizabeth, I love you.
Come on. Come on.
Elizabeth!
He did the last thing any guy could have done is I love you confession. And not only that seemed desperate, but at the same time, that's just, to me, that's not real. Because they never went on dates, and if you really love her like that, you wouldn't tell her like that in that moment, if that makes sense. The timing was so wrong, and the way he said it and the timing of saying I love you, it just sounds desperate to me. Nathan was really her true and honest friend. He would respect her immediately and would let her go right now, after this scene, after this moment. If he was really her true friend, he would understand her and respect her and just let it go and continue to be fun. It sucked for Nathan. He feel hurt too, but you can't force a woman to like you when she doesn't like you. And I love you confession, I think it just made it worse for both Nathan and Elizabeth. Elizabeth already said no, and he keep pressuring her by saying I love you, and it made her feel even more sicker, you making it worse for me, Nathan. This is not good. And it just made it look even more bad on Nathan's part too. Dude, you kind of like embarrassing yourself at the same time, but it also showed that you don't respect her wishes and her decision. And compared to Lucas, I want you to be happy, right? Like, we don't even hear that from Nathan. Like, it would be nice if Nathan, like, okay, I feel really sad about it, but I respect your decision. Can we at least be friends still? You know what I mean? So it looks really bad on both sides. I guess the greater thing about this scene is that Elizabeth finally revealed to Nathan how she felt for him, and that she just can't date him because of those reasons that she said in this scene. Feel free what you think of this scene. It's just like a lot of emotion, and I can still feel it watching it back. How about you? It brought me back the emotion, the highs and lows of this season. I'm like, but yeah, tell me what you think of this scene, of this episode. Crazy episode. We'll see what happened in the next one. I hope you still enjoying this Teacup trail, especially with some of these changes that are going on with how I edit the videos. But I hope you're still enjoying them. And I will see you on Sunday as usual. Again, I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is in the description below if you want to talk to me on there. But feel free to comment in the below and tell me your perspective on this episode. Again, thank you. I will see you on Sunday. Have a great day. Bye.